Karin Kanzuki was one of those characters that I initially misunderstood. Upon reviewing her the first time, I realised she wasn't as obnoxious as I had been led to believe. In fact, she turned out to be quite the honourable sort. With this new understanding of Karin, I awaited to see her in Street Fighter V and wondered what her involvement would be. Was her inclusion going to be no more than a sideshow, or was she destined for greater things? I've said before that I think the schoolgirl style is a tad played out now. I'm not hating on it, and at the end of the day you people can like whatever you like, but unless it's a game like Rival Schools, I'm not really too keen on seeing it anywhere else. So I was very happy when Street Fighter V redesigned Karin, taking more consideration into the type of person she is. This new design really captures the elegance that should be associated with her. She still wears a skirt, but it's now accompanied by black leggings. The sailor-styled shirt and necktie has been replaced by a smart jacket, which makes her appear more business-orientated. Frilly fabric can also be seen poking out from the sleeves and chest area, which help to emphasize her flamboyance. These are very small and subtle changes, but necessary ones that allow Karin to grow out of the schoolgirl category that she had been placed in. She no longer seems like a child, but instead a young lady, and someone with a lot more visual association to people of her level of class. Karin looks like a businesswoman ready to run her empire. She's still wearing red, white and black as her main combinations, and those colours are in the same placement areas as her old outfit. This is a good way to ease people into her new design points. If the ratio of colours and their placements had been disorganised, then her new outfit would have definitely come across as a little too alien. As it is, it feels familiar but changes the way Karin is being portrayed. I really like what they've done with her, and I vastly prefer this look over her original design. It's also nice to see that Capcom didn't want to break Karin too much in a visual regard. Can't say the same for some of the others, but we'll save that complaint for another day. The biggest change to Karin is her position within her family. As stated previously, her father was originally the boss in charge, but it seems between that time and now, Karin has assumed complete control. She is now head of the Kanzuki Zaibatsu, and that has only elevated her importance further. It's also nice to see how reliable and respectful she has become. Karin even kept her promise to Rainbow Mika, saying that she would sponsor her wrestling career one day, and she totally did just that. I believe Karin's rivalry with Sakura during Alpha 3 was a huge influence in helping shape the person she is now. The journey she took and the people she met, along with having the rematch against Sakura herself, all these moments factored into Karin understanding new things like humility and mutual respect. It allowed her to evolve, and in turn it likely was the reason there was the exchange of power from her father to herself. Karin had understood the world, now she was ready to run a portion of it. So with being such an evolved character in Street Fighter V, does she do anything during the story? Well, I mean, yeah, she does. She does plenty. And in actual fact, that is one of the only criticisms I have for Karin in Street Fighter V. She does way too much. Karin runs everything, and I don't just mean her own Kanzuki organization, I mean anybody working alongside her Zaibatsu gets ordered about as well. I mean look, I know I said I wanted her to be more of a boss figure, but chill out a bit man. You've got Chun-Li who is Interpol, Guile is military, Cammy working for Delta Red, you've got all these government agents who have been in pursuit of M. Bison for literal years, and yet it all came across to me like they were nothing more than hired help for Karin, when in fact it should have felt the other way around. The thing is, it's not like Karin is forcefully throwing herself into a leadership role and being bossy as a result. In fact, Karin remains respectfully well spoken to everybody the entire time, and it's all blessed. In game, the other characters are fine with Karin organising everything, but I think that's where the issue really lies. They shouldn't. They should be showing their own leadership, and Karin should be in an allied role. Chun-Li, Guile and Cammy are all people of authority, but it never feels that way when Karin is with them. It makes these veterans look like they're being babysat. As a character, I'm all for granting more power to Karin, because by god if she's the boss of such a powerful organisation, then she sure as hell deserves to have more swing within the Street Fighter universe, but not at the expense of weakening Chun-Li and Guile's importance. Did anybody else feel the same way about this, or was it just me again? I don't know, it didn't sit well with me is all I'm saying. I'm not dissing the character, not even in the slightest, she's a great character. I just felt the writing and story direction for Street Fighter V was very poorly done, which I've said before, and I will continue to say time and time again. Karin has evolved a fair amount since we last saw her. It's allowed a small arc to form for herself and she's become someone worthy to the universe at large. She's no longer just the Ken to Sakura's Ryu. In fact, aside from one very brief cameo, Sakura is nowhere to be seen. With no major connection to Sakura during this story, Karin has avoided falling into the one-tone rival that merely exists to make another character have something to do. Karin is her own person now, whether Sakura is present or not, and that's a good thing for both characters, quite frankly. My only gripe was that during the story they clearly gave Karin way too much to do when other characters would have been more suited to handling those roles. That's it. Aside from that, Karin is one of the characters I'd say has been more successfully implemented into Street Fighter V, and it's very good to have her back. And Karin's new theme song? Perfect! This is one of my favourite songs from the whole damn game. It's got such a rich and classy vibe to it, you know what I mean? You could slap this song into the middle of Outrun and nothing would feel out of place.